Hello, this is Pastor Steve, and I'm coming to you today to talk not with a message of hope, but to share with you a little information about the process of our church coming back to worship services within the building in the next 2 weeks. We are going to be having our worship service this coming Sunday, the 21st. We will have our 9 a.m. service at Hancock Park, as we did this previous Sunday, and that I think went exceedingly well. And then we'll have our drive-in worship at 11 o'clock, the same way that we've been having it. And then on the 28th, we're going to have worship in the sanctuary, and that's going to be a glorious day. Let me explain to you the process of how we got to this place, and then the process of how we're going to worship. For the past few weeks, I've been guided by the conference and our bishop and our district superintendent, and they've also had an advisory group that's helped them to understand the best way to help us to both be able to worship together, but to do it safely. And this was the decided upon time. The bishop was recommending the Sunday after the 22nd, that being the 28th, and that's been our goal for a while now. Several weeks ago, we created a health advisory team with various healthcare professionals who are in our church, and they have been very instrumental, along with Brenda, our custodian, and Robin and myself, in really looking at, okay, this is our target date. This is when the bishop and everyone thinks that it will be safe to return to worship. How do we do that? How do we ensure that we're doing our very best to make sure? And so we've come up with a plan that you can come and worship and do it safely. Now, some of you may not be comfortable doing that at this time, and that's perfectly okay. We are amenable. We're trying to. One of the things that this situation has taught us is ways that we can reach out and worship in creative ways so that the gospel is heard and people feel God's presence. And so we are going to continue to be doing the drive-in services even after we're beginning worship again in the sanctuary. Those will move on the 28th to 9:30. So we will have those from now on at 9:30, and that's really because of the heat. The 11 o'clock hour, it gets a little toasty, especially in July, August, and September. So we are moving those to 9:30, and we'll be doing those for a good number of weeks until we come to the place where they're no longer necessary. But for right now, we will continue to do those drive-in worship services at 9:30. The sanctuary, the health advisory team has helped us to understand that there's going to be a process of entering and exiting the building so that we maintain social distancing at all times. So that's going to mean it takes a little bit longer to do than we could have accomplished under the times that we had thought of doing the services. So we have now changed our service times on Sundays in the sanctuary to 9 o'clock and 11:30. 9 o'clock and 11:30. Those are unusual times for us, but they allow us to have people be able to be seated in a safe environment, and then be able to be helped out of the building, so that then we have time to clean the building and to spray it and wipe everything down for the 11 o'clock or 11:30 service, excuse me. I want to say 11, it's the 11:30 service. So that gives us a good hour and a half between the two services to to get people in and out and to clean. So put those on your calendar. We're going to have guidelines that are going to be posted on our website. They will be distributed at the services this Sunday. And also, I'm going to have Chuck superimpose them over me as I talk right now. So you will see that within the sanctuary, the main ones that you need to be aware of is that we will maintain our social distancing. We will have to wear masks during the service, anyone over the age of 2. And we will encourage people not to sing. We will have music during the service, but we encourage you to hum along and not to sing, because apparently singing from a health perspective is one of the most transmittable ways for this virus. We are going to have services in the sanctuary, in the fellowship hall, and in the pavilion outside. And we're asking you, if you're not comfortable being in the sanctuary or fellowship hall and would like to worship in the pavilion, to bring your own chair, just like we're doing in the park. And you can bring your own chair and social distance properly out there. And we will have a 150-inch screen and a projector that will live stream the service out there. So you're watching the service as it goes on in the sanctuary. And that will also in the fellowship hall as well. The service will be on the television. So you'll be able to participate in corporate worship, and that will be exciting. So we want to do these things, at least for the time being, until we're sure that we're not harming each other. We want to be our brother's keeper and also be able to assemble together. So we're trying to do both of these things. We will still have the virtual worship online. So if you feel more comfortable staying in your home and watching, we're going to continue to do that, and we'll be able to do that via live stream, so that you'll be able to watch the service that is actually being on in the sanctuary. I want to thank everyone for the last few months. Thank you for your patience, and we made it through this together, and we're continuing to do so with God's help. I want to thank my staff. They have worked diligently and creatively to be able to come up with ways to minister to you over this last 2 months. We have really tried hard, and through the drive-in, through the virtual, through visitations, through our children's minister and youth minister going out to visit, through the administrative staff working from home, being able to Zoom, being able to come in and field calls and do through all the hard work Brenda has done in preparing the church and preparing the fellowship hall for worship. And so God has been good to us during this time. And we, in many ways over the last few weeks, have been the church in ways that we previously hadn't had to do. And so I thank you as your pastor. I ask you to continue to pray for the church, pray for each other, pray for us as we minister, and pray for our nation. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. God bless you.